All right, well, as you know, Tuesday is the day of the week where the routine is to, hey, make sure everything is in full swing. It can be a day where, well, focus on everything that needs to be done is what we do. So, hey.
Yeah, now ambition is the path to success. I feel like a philosopher today. But persistence is the vehicle you arrive in.
Absolutely. That's why we urge you to be persistent this Tuesday and keep moving forward to be where you want to be, always.
Yes, of course. Now, on that note, we say a very good morning to you and
good morning.
To
but of
another
course,
brand new edition of...
Yeah, Wake Up Nigeria. I am super excited to join you in your homes and for an exhilarating 3 hours ride. Hey, let me tell you guys a secret today. It's a specially curated show just for you to help you get your day started on a very bright note, bright and early.
Yes, now my name is Tokwe Olowoniyo. Now there's so much more that we have planned for you, and do not forget you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
And send in your comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC on Facebook and at TVC Connect.
Now, have you downloaded our app?
Please do.
I don't know why they haven't. It's free.
Please.
Now, it allows you to watch us on your mobile devices from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet connection.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we strongly recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, TVC Entertainment on YouTube, and for more of those exciting videos that we like to give you guys.
Yes, now today, we've been saying we have so much lined up for them. Mazino, do you want to tell them the very first thing we have lined up?
Well, alrighty. Well, it's good to be here for a Tuesday.
Productive day of the week, yeah?
That's what they say. They only say that because they didn't get anything done on Monday.
Yeah, they did.
Whoever came up with that.
Statistically, it is.
Oh yeah, why?
It
because
is.
you plan on Monday and you execute on
Not
Tuesday?
like of course, normally you should plan over the weekend and kick off with Monday. But then, Monday has this way of, there's so much activity without, results that much. So it's kind of Monday, there's all the hustle and bustle, but by Tuesday, everything. So it's not about movement, but it's about results. And that's why Tuesday seems to be. And I'm inclined to agree.
Oh. I read a research once that says the only reason why Mondays are dreary is because we have this dread of them. So we're always thinking about everything starting on a Monday. So we actually put off things till Tuesday, and that's why we claim that Tuesdays are productive. But hey, it's subjective, maybe.
It is. So some people it's Sunday. Like for me, it has been Sunday of recent,
Really?
Yeah, Sunday.
Why? Sundays are relaxing days. You just chill, do nothing.
My dear, the day where I day off, now the day where I go relax.
And she's never off.
So it depends on whichever day, whichever week. There's always a different day that'll be productive for you and differently. So yeah, it all goes that way. If you're in cities like Lagos, where traffic, of course, is also one thing. Also,
One thing to consider.
Traffic would always take away your productivity.
Guys, check this out.
Yeah.
Friends of mine working at the bank, two of them, totally independent calls, called me up yesterday, said to me, Mazina, I'm done. I'm no longer working at the bank. By the way, take note, these guys have not been working from office. They've been working from home. Okay. But they claim that lately it has been the war. It has been crazy working from home as a banker or as a marketer. So they claim, and individually now, that they're going into agriculture and farming. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? Is this something that I'm missing?
Is this a sign? Dear
but
God,
truly, I see a lot of people who are actually doing this nowadays. I don't know.
Leaving banking?
Yeah, leaving banking and going into agriculture. It's like the new blue collar.
I had a training yesterday, and the trainer said something. He said, wait, they trained the bank, and they asked them which of them wanted to be here. Nobody said they wanted to be here. And that's a bank.
Oh, wow.
Nobody. This was just yesterday evening, or yesterday afternoon and all that, getting into evening. Said nobody. Like, which of them really wanted to be here? Nobody wanted to be here.
I mean, when you're doing something that you're not passionate about, you can get tired quickly. Yeah. But when you're passionate about what you do, even when you're tired, you still have the drive to move, to push, and to do better. Growing up, my granddad had a farm because he was a farmer.
Nice.
So we used to call people in our area used to call us Garden of Eden because my granddad used to grow fruits, like almost every fruit that you can think of. In fact, there was this time my grandma traveled to the US and she bought a passion fruit.
Okay.
And then she brought the fruit, and my granddad took the seeds and planted it. And then we also started selling passion fruit. And as much as I and my brother really didn't care about it, but because of how my granddad was so passionate about
passion fruits.
I'm passionate about it. We saw that we were interested in it. Yes, don't leave me. Yeah, so agriculture is really a good place to invest. And a good thing which you could consider it is because you never run out of customers because
nice.
people are always going to need chicken. People are always going to need fruits. People are always going to need food.
I'll tell you what, we know you're very passionate about passion fruits, but we also know that you have to give us the news right about now.
Yes, I have to. Now we begin the news with inbound passengers to Nigeria are complaining of challenges they are facing while trying to meet government's requirements on coronavirus testing on arrival from other countries. Some of the passengers have alleged that the process is a scam to extort and frustrate travelers who are eager to reconnect with their families. The federal government wants the PCR test done within 96 hours before departure and preferably within 72 hours. Passengers are required to remain in self-isolation on arrival and carry out of COVID-19 tests in designated laboratories 7 days after arrival. Many passengers have expressed frustration in accessing the online portal, the cost of the test on arrival, duplicated charges, and inability to trace the laboratories. Port users are calling on government to stop cargo transfer charges, insisting that the continued imposition of the charges is an infringement on their rights. The National Coordinator 100% Compliance Team of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders says that importers are being forced to pay for the transfer of their cargoes without their consent. TVC News correspondent Ifunaya Eze reports.
Recent complaints of congestion at the seaport, especially in the Lagos area, has led to the stemming of laden containers to bonded terminals, but often not with the consent of the importer, who gets compelled to pay hundreds of thousands of naira as transfer charges. The 100% compliance team sees this as exploitative and an infringement on their rights and wants APM terminals and the Ports Authority to stop the charges.
As an importer, I said my container should go to Apapa port. And you decided to take this container to bonded terminal, any one of the bonded terminal. It's my right for you to let me know that you see your cargo is going to so place. A week before you carry that cargo to that place. Already I'm aware where my cargo is going. Not I will now be looking for everywhere to know where my cargo is going. I don't know. You will make a decision that it's their right to give them containers because they have a license. I agree. It's my right to tell you to tell my shippers, this is where my container is supposed to go. It's my right too. But if you decided to overrule my own right, do you have any right to charge me again on my behalf? You don't have that right.
While insisting on an encompassing adherence to trade guidelines at the seaports, the leadership of 100% compliance team maintains that its mandate is to assist in driving government's revenue generation.
Everybody, both we, the freight forwarders, both the government agencies, both the terminal operators, both the shipping company, please let's all of us do the right thing. It will help us. That is the mandate of compliance team. And we are not shaking. We continue pleading till everybody will comply.
The compliance team also says it is engaging with importers and freight forwarders on the importance of honest declaration. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Moving on, the World Bank President David Malpass has advocated that debt cancellation is needed by the poorest countries as the COVID-19 pandemic could trigger a debt crisis in some nations. Mr. Malpass says investors must be ready to grant some form of relief that could also include debt cancellation. The World Bank boss says, and I quote, "It is evident that some countries are unable to pay the debts they have taken on. We must therefore also reduce the debt level. This can be called debt relief or cancellation. It is important that an amount of debt is reduced by restructuring." Mr. Malpass spoke about similar steps in previous financial crises, such as in Latin America and in so-called HIPC initiative for highly indebted countries in the 1990s. Singapore Monetary Authority says it will extend relief programs on mortgages and loans for individuals and small firms into next year due to the prolonged impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The programs, which include deferrals on mortgage payments and lower interest rates on loans, were introduced in April and are set to expire on the 31st of December. Singapore has spent about $100 billion or 20% of its GDP in virus-related relief to support households and businesses. According to the reports, the government is introducing a program that provides faster and lower cost insolvency proceedings for small firms to restructure their debts or shut down because of the pandemic's impact. The Nigeria Bureau of Statistics says in its last report that due to the impact of the coronavirus, food insecurity is most prevalent in Rivers and the FCT. About 79% and 72% of households, respectively, are said to be skipping meals. Lagos and Kano states were also found to have slightly serious degrees of food crisis. Floods and violence have also repeatedly struck this year in many parts of the north and elsewhere, with food prices skyrocketing. COVID-19 remains a major threat to food security globally. The United Nations World Food Programme is now warning that about 130 million or more people globally could face food insecurity by the end of the year. Touching down on security for a moment, the Commissioner of Police Lagos State Command, Hakeem Odumosu, says any erring police officer in the state must face the consequences of his action. Speaking at different meetings held with Area Commander, Head of Department Divisional Police Officers and SARS operatives, he re-echoed the directives of the Inspector General of Police on the standard operating procedure for SARS and other tactical units. He also made it clear that he was going to arrest and prosecute any personnel who flouts the IGP's directive. The police boss, however, appealed to the general public to collaborate with the police in the fight against police brutality, harassment, incivility, and extortion in the state. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. We will take a break. When we return, we have sports news. Do not go anywhere.
Oh, well, Mike, there's no stopping the joker there. French Opens, is that clay?
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Clay,
that's
yeah?
the premium or the premier clay court tournament in the world, Roland Garros.
Okay. Oh, cool. So, hey, got myself a hot cup of beverage, the papers, and let's do the papers, shall we? Welcome this morning. It is a Tuesday like we've been touting all morning. And of course, it is the 6th of October, 2020. And we've got the headlines for you. So if you guys are ready, let's already get started with the Nation newspaper. First big headline this morning. Under poll, fear of more violence as parties gear up. APC accuses PDP of do-or-die approach. Abdul Salami panel urges. A look at the photo story this morning here. Minister of Education Malam Adamu presenting a car or set of car keys to the winner of the overall best teacher, Mr. Asubiojo Olaolua from Amoye Grammar School, Ikire Ekiti. Oh, I was there just last weekend during the 2020 World Teachers' Day celebration in Abuja yesterday. And to the side of that, massive incentives for teachers. You're going to be hearing a lot about this today. Ekiti teacher is nation's best. And at the top of the Nation paper, PIB proposes unbundling of NNPC. Find that on page 8. 3 firms to emerge. Ize-Iyamu to pursue eligibility case against Obaseki, Shuaibu, and Okonjo-Iweala is in the news as he surges ahead in WTO race. Federal government launches probe into FSARS activities. Moving on now to the Vanguard newspaper. Mixed reactions from state governments as FG boosts teachers. Oh, FG OK special salary scale for teachers raises tenure from 35 to 40 years. Reintroduces bursary awards to education students in universities and COEs to pay stipend to Bachelor of Education students. Says granting them automatic employment after graduation now a policy. Directs TED Fund to fund teachers' practice in universities. It goes on, but that's big news for the teachers. It was all about social media yesterday as this was being discussed, and many will say it's about time. WTO here, EU agrees support for Okonjo-Iweala, South Korean opponent, and a new PIB seeks establishment of midstream gas infrastructure fund. And my wife's possessed, says husband of woman who killed her 2 children in Kano. That's a very sorry story. You might want to find that one. Under poll will be better than Edo, says Yakubu INEC boss. IG wants violence mongers, says 33,783 personnel will be deployed. And be patient with any law you've misgivings about, Buhari tells Nigerians. And Naira down to 386 Naira per dollar in INE window. At the top of the Vanguard newspaper, Edo Ize-Iyamu to pursue pre-election matters. Foreclosures going to tribunal, and 2023 fears as planned policy reversal targets INEC and others. Quickly now to the Daily Sun for Tuesday. Governors back IGP as FSARS ban and say move greatest relief ever. Police Affairs Ministry to investigate allegations. Lagos CP disarms operatives. And schools reopening. FG deploys 60,000 voluntary environmental health workers in 774 LGAs. ASU seeks adequate funding infrastructure in public schools. At the top of the Daily Sun, NUT jubilates as Buhari approves new salary structure for teachers, but of course, retirement age raised to 65, service year to 40. And under gubernatorials, your vote will count. INEC assures 1,478 electorate. Threatens to disenfranchise electorate with branded face masks. 10 parties adopt Jegede. Let's do the Daily Sun now. Teachers get new salary scale and houses. And retirement age now 65, service years 40. Bursary award, automatic job for education students. TED fund to fund teachers practice universities, COEs. And we want approval backed by law, says the NUT. At the bottom of the Daily Trust, a former AKTH CMD, Professor Dutse, dies at 60. And woman beats stepdaughter to death in Adamawa. Sad story down page 7. Trump recovers, says, I feel better than I have in 20 years. Yeah, no. At the top of the Daily Trust, restructuring Southern Middle Belt leaders tackle presidency over comment. And Buhari approves 14.5 billion naira for census. COVID-19, Nigerian scientists develop faster, cheaper test kits. Finally, on the Daily Independence, plot to cripple INEC after Edo gubernatorial polls thickens. Plotters to drag Malami, Boss Mustafa into scheme. A look at the photo story here. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker, House of Representatives, Ahmad Lawan, Senate President, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and President Muhammadu Buhari during a 2-day executive legislative leadership retreat at the State House Conference Center, Abuja on Monday. And NUT hails Buhari over new salary structure for teachers. Lord's president for pushing retirement age to 40 seeks inclusion of retiring teachers in new scheme. Teachers make case for legal backing of plan. And that's as much as we can take for the headlines this morning. Do join us inside the second hour. We'll have more for you then. Until then, do stay tuned. It's Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mazino Peel. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Now, you know we always like to be here to help you make your journey smoother and as easy as possible. Now, ensure that you share every necessary information you can for other road users to get to their destination as quick as possible. This morning, I'll be starting our journey from Abulegba all the way down to Ikeja under bridge. So if you're traveling this route this morning, this is definitely for you. It will take you approximately 38 minutes if you are headed out now, starting from Ekoro Road, that's by Pipeline bus stop. Now, you will experience no traffic up until you're trying to connect to the Abulegba up until you're trying to connect to the old Abeokuta Road. Just a slight traffic connecting to that point. Now, from Abulegba bus stop, that's Jubilee Bridge access, guess what? It is free and good for you to go at this point. All through old Abeokuta Road now. It's free flowing through Okoba, through the police station Abattoir. It's free flowing. But the traffic begins to pick up at about the Agege area where we have the mobile petrol station that's around the Okoba Market. All through Okoba Market, all through Green Hill Estate, all through the Methodist Church. Now, the traffic begins to ease up at about Ayobo Garage. Now, after Ayobo Garage, it's now pockets of traffic. There's little traffic at Agege Market. There's little traffic at the local government Central Motor Park. The traffic picks up and gets thick again at, I'm not sure what point this is. Okay, still at the Abeokuta Road, but Ashade Market, yes, it's thick at this point. But once you get to Akani Doherty Street, it eases up a bit, but you're still going to probably be going at a slow pace, not as what you would expect. Now, right after that, when you're connecting through to Oba Akran, the traffic eases up again. Now, from this part, from Oba Akran all the way through, It's free flowing, but you might just experience a little traffic once you're approaching Ikeja under bridge. So today isn't so bad for people traveling from Abulegba to Ikeja under bridge. I'm going to check another route now, but I am hoping Mazino and Mike have updates from social media for us, please.
Yes, a couple of references, only just a bit from Apapa Road heading out from Ajigla and the rest. Just a bit of a hold up on there on the bridges, but you will get to the island in no time. Then there seems to be some red spots, as we can see on the marina, if you are heading towards CMS. So that will be a bit of a pickle for you, but you'll be out of that one in no time. The tolls on the island this morning seem to have a bit of traffic on there, but hey, it's the usual Tuesday traffic coming from Ajay and the rest. It's actually not too bad this morning, even with the school's resumption and all. Third Mainland Bridge heading into the island seems to have a bit of slow-moving traffic, but nothing you can't handle, I'm very sure. Tops maybe have a little extra 20 minutes as you're heading out this morning to your itinerary, and you'll be good, I'm thinking. Mike, do you have anything?
Well, I'm trying to go through, and there's nothing at the... Okay. Tollgate in what Marwa is good. Marwa to Ikate. Down to Ajay, Brahma, Disonya roundabout is good. Return journey from Shangotedo back to VIA. And that's where you end. At Follow Lasma, that's where you can get. Connecting Osborne Road through Dolphin is calm for now. The stretch of Alfred Wane is okay, inward and outward, same as Awolowo Road via at Follow Lasma. And there's good movement coming back from Charity towards Bagada for now. Inward Third Mainland Bridge en route to Aden is also good. Vehicular movement from Kara Bridge inward Bega is very good. I mean, considering that this is inward Lagos that we're talking about, that is quite okay. Also, return journey from Mushin towards Oshodi is okay, aside from little delay at Ojuwoye intersection and alternations delay along that particular route also. And there's quite a lot here, a flurry of information. Yanakbaja underbridge on route to Tokmamu underbridge is good for now. Inward Cement and Mongoro is only a bit slow at the alternate bus stop. There is quite a lot, but I think we might have to... should I go and talk about it? There's plenty. Plenty. I don't know what happened this morning.
I'm going to take the cap I've given Mary for our last match chief and give it right to you. But before I wrap this up, just for people going from Ojodu Bega all the way to CMS Central Park, this is going to take you 29 minutes if you head out now. I think that's a really good start. You experience slight traffic at 7 Up all the way to Third Mainland Bridge, but right after Third Mainland Bridge is good to go now. Slight traffic from Adeni Jid coming down from the bridge, and you would not experience so much traffic. So today is not looking so bad. If you're going to go through Ikorodu Road, pockets of traffic at bus stops, which is kind of like expected if you understand how traffic goes in Lagos. But all in all, we all know what it is living in Lagos City, experiencing traffic every other day. I will be going to join Mike and Mazino. Hey people, what is up and about in Lagos?
All right. A few things. I'm not just... but something caught my attention, and I really quite interesting. Of course, over the past few days, it's all been about End SARS, the protest, hashtag End SARS moving, and of course, there has been a declaration of some sort from the federal government. Yeah. But this one's quite interesting. So yesterday, Naira Marley put up a tweet, quite a very interesting one. He says, so 9 a.m. tomorrow, we move. Second toll gate, peaceful protest, no vandalism, no fights, and no stealing.
That's not possible.
Before you go ahead, can I say something? First of all, since when did Naira Marley become advocative? One. So it's not exactly the kind of thing that I was expecting him to
do, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. But then again, he has been arrested many times. So I guess he will have a gripe against FSARS and the rest.
I guess this is just a Nigerian that is tired. And because it's Naira Marley, that's why we're wondering why Naira Marley. But it could be any of us. It could be you that is tired. It could be me that is tired. But I guess this is him trying to be one person, one celebrity that is actually going to use his platform. But we hope he doesn't get silenced.
Okay, but now
he actually goes through with it and actually keeps to all this no vandalism.
Okay, so now this is the interesting part. what made it interesting was a response from the Minister of Youth and Sports.
Oh, he woke up.
Yeah, and now see that's the funny thing. So now listen to this, and I'll tell you why this is very interesting. He says, "I urge you." Now he responded. I know when government officials. I hope it's not a handler, but most times it could be a handler. But then, if it's Donald Trump, he's the person. Donald Trump does not have a handler for his Twitter account.
No.
So Sunday Diary says, "I urge you and other youth not to embark upon any protest.
Right.
Your grievances are being addressed at the highest level of government. As the minister in charge of youth, I know this is an issue that must be tackled. Government is doing just that."
So I think he's scared of the Malians, because we all know Malians are, and I'm going to say this, rebellious. I mean, to be a Malian, it's noted that you have a
Are you
sense
wearing
of...
bed? Raise your...
You're a Malian.
Imagine, are you wearing belt?
Talk about boy, you're also a Malian.
I'm a Malian.
Oh, for real?
But I mean, but look at it. Look at it. Naira Marley went to school. As much as
I'm not saying that.
As much as they say Malians don't have home training.
No, but you know...
But you're wearing belt. You're not a Malian.
I'm a
Okay, so,
Malian.
but this is the interesting part of this message. Sunday Diary is someone that we only hear his name when it comes to sports.
To sports, yes.
Alone, which is why
So,
I was surprised.
and he knows that. That's why he said, and look at his statement. He says, as the minister in charge of youth. And so there's actually a youth ministry.
I never knew that part.
Oh God, we only see you in stadium, renovating stadium and chasing people out of stadium. We've never, I mean, this is a minister that we should be hearing his voice every single day. So come to think about it, yes, it's even dawning on me that there's a ministry that is for the youth, which should be, it should be the most proactive, the most,
Considering that it also has the most population. When it
the
comes
most
to
population. So that the minister,
Yeah.
for me, I feel like now I come to think about it. That ministry, the minister should be handling that portfolio and another portfolio.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the time we had
two chunky offices.
Remember the time we had, of course, the past governor of Lagos State, Naira Marley, handling power, ministry, and works and all that. And he said something. He said, "Well, I've handled the states. This is not up to." He had a point there, but for sports, for youth and sports, strong. So the point is, now 9 a.m. this morning, I've not seen any response from Naira Marley. Yeah. I don't know if it's still going to go ahead, but we know that
about a quarter before 7.
Before 9. So we know that the government has responded. So they have a point. Yes, that's the minister there. They have a point that government is actually tackling it, but then it's a peaceful protest. I think there's no problem.
I'm shocked, however, at the level of attention that's given such a call by a musician.
A musician.
Now, I'm thinking, so is this the level of, is this the power that musicians have over the youth? Now, that's a rhetorical question.
Of course. Yeah, thank God you know.
I know. I'm thinking how many more, if we had more advocative youths or musicians actually, or people that the youths look up to, embark on very constructive, let me say.
I know we don't talk about this so much, but I remember a GO of a strong religious body in Nigeria when he went out on protest. He carried placards.
Yep.
I saved that picture. I think I still have it somewhere. Imagine we had 5, 6 of them come out with some influencer. Imagine what happened.
There's going to be change.
Okay. But hey, tell you guys, if you're going to protest, please
peacefully.
Be very peaceful. Don't vandalize. Don't give them excuse to use you and take you to the next level.
Don't define Malian.
All right, we'll just take a break now and we'll come back with birthday shout-outs.
If only you guys see what Mazino does before the camera comes live.
Some just happened right now.
Wow.
Listen, it's all amazing here and it's happening right here the first hour. And we are going to let you know that if you're just joining us, you've missed out.
Yes.
I'd like to say that the next hour and 45 minutes is going to be a humdinger, going to be unmatched with what we have coming.
Yes, now it is the second hour, and this is usually where all the fun happens. So get ready for a beautiful time on television. Tell them, Mazino, tell them.
Yes, of course. Our goal every day, every single week, is to make sure that you stay connected with us and us with you. Stay right here with us till the final 45 minutes for a memorable experience on a Tuesday. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am Tokwe Oloniyo. Now remember, remember, you can stream this show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We want to know what you think.
Yes, indeed. Oh, and we have an app as well available for download at both Android and iOS store. So make sure you download that because it allows you to watch us from anywhere you might be in the world.
Exactly. Now, we want to remind you once again, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? It's free. Everything is free. Just go to YouTube at TVC Entertainment, click subscribe, and turn on our post notifications because you can binge watch on all your favorite segments. And on Fridays, we have Wake Up Extra.
Yes.
Just a little something extra, just sprinkling for you. Now, that happens at 2:30 p.m.
That was very extra.
Yeah, you know, we just
I don't know if I want it.
Wow. You join us as we talk to your favorite celebrities away from the glitz and glam to just who they really are.
Yes, indeed. And today on the show, we have a new chef joining us. Oh, it's going to be a special recipe.
And you've already been shooting your shots for food.
Listen. I can tell that it's going to be a fantastic
is always shooting his shots for food.
Yes,
Well, let's introduce our brand new chef, Chef Simbiat. Yes,
Hey,
great to have you on the show.
Simbiat.
She's joining us for the very first time, and we're looking forward to really interesting stuff she's making for us this morning. But let me give you a hint.
What?
If you don't like seafood, nah, today is not your lucky day. But if you love seafood, goodness,
Oh my
you're going to have a
days.
very good time on the show this morning.
I am definitely all for that. And she is some melanin goodness.
My gosh, she glows.
She's
You know, I'm standing
glowing,
next
baby
to her
girl.
and I can
Woo.
see she glows.
You glowing, girl. You are a brown skin girl. Now, joining us for an energetic musical performance this morning, we have an Afro-pop artist who raps and sings effortlessly. He goes by the name Tonic Music. Good morning, my neighbors.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I like your dress. Like, I like the stretch thingy going on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's really
this
nice.
was me feeling like, I just want to be free. Ooh.
I feel very disenfranchised when you ladies have so much variety when it comes to fashion and dresses, and we're just like limited to a turtleneck and a suit
No,
sometimes.
it's because you guys want to be limited. You can wear
Yes.
skirts. You can wear gowns.
I don't
Yes,
mind
you
actually.
can wear
I
No,
don't-
yes.
actually,
if you're
yeah.
challenging me, one day I just might
No, it's
do
not
it.
a challenge.
I'm telling you,
fashion.
you to cut your hair.
No, that's a Mike. We've planned this now.
You have a plan. What
Yes.
is going to happen? Mike, are you going to cut your hair too? Or you're cutting
No, I
your
think it's a beard.
Mike, because
No, I'm not gotten that one.
I saw a video of Mike from the early days without all of that. You look really.
At least let me try and leave this one for like 2 years. So now it's gone like few months.
When you have a girlfriend, then you can consider, because now you are single. You do not want to be single forever.
You don't know what
No,
is
but
my
some girls
plan.
are like it. Some girls actually like it.
Let's not talk about the beards again. I'm getting
No,
jealous.
it's not though. Yeah,
I'm
for a
Okay, so
very long
those
time
that
I've been
can't
without
grow
it
beards
now.
are
It's
getting
okay,
jealous.
off your
No, Mike,
mind.
Yeah.
No, for a very long time I've been.
Just put it here for my
Back to fashion. Rihanna had a fashion show over the weekend. I can't remember
Yes.
exactly what she called it, but it was interesting to see the diversity that she had when it comes to the kinds of models that she had on it.
She's
The
always done
big
that
people,
since she
slim
started.
people, and
Yeah.
everything. Yesterday, I wanted to talk about the fact that our Nigerian fashion shows are, and I've been a part of these fashion shows before, not as a model, don't worry, even if I can pass as one, but
kind of like,
Nigerian fashion shows are actually having problem with when they embrace the big brand. I mean, the big lady brand. They have problems with sponsors. Did you know this?
oh, wow.
Yeah, they
That's
actually
some
do.
shaming there.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
we'll talk more about this, but we have to take the news. And darling Mary, you're going to blow us away, baby
We
girl.
are diverse. Okay, let's take it right now. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has reported 120 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 59,465. This time, Rivers State recorded the highest number of cases with 65 new infections, followed by the FCT with 12 and Ogun with 9 cases. So far, 50,951 people have been discharged, while 1,113 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Inbound passengers to Nigeria are complaining of challenges they face while trying to meet government's requirements on coronavirus testing on arrival from other countries. Some of the passengers have alleged that the process is a scam to extort and frustrate travelers who are eager to reconnect with their families. The federal government wants the PCR test done within 96 hours before departure and preferably within 72 hours. after arrival. Passengers are required to remain in self-isolation on arrival and carry out a COVID-19 test in designated laboratories 7 days after arrival. Many passengers have expressed frustration in accessing the online portal, the costs of the test on arrival, duplicated charges, and inability to trace the laboratories. And now we talk security issues. The Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Hakeem Odumosu, says any erring police officer in the state must face the consequences of his actions. Speaking at different meetings held with area commanders, heads of department, divisional police officers, and SARS operatives, he re-echoed the directives of the Inspector General of Police on the standard operating procedure for SARS and other tactical units. He also made it clear that he was going to arrest and prosecute any personnel who flouts the IGP's directives. The police boss appealed to the general public to collaborate with the police in the fight against police brutality, harassment, incivility, and extortion in the state. And despite the ban on operatives of the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad from conducting patrols, stop and search, and indiscriminately checking the phones and laptops of young Nigerians, some Nigerians have accused some officials of the police unit of engaging in such activities. To express their displeasure over these occurrences, some Nigerians in Lagos have decided to stage a peaceful protest. They will be gathering at the entrance of Lekki Phase 1 at 9 a.m, from where they will move to other parts of the state. The protest is spearheaded by some entertainers. Amongst them is Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley. And the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics says in its last report that due to the impact of the coronavirus, food insecurity is most prevalent in Rivers and the FCT. About 79% and 72% of households, respectively, are said to be skipping meals. Lagos and Kano states were also found to have slightly serious degrees of food crisis. Floods and violence have also repeatedly struck this year in many parts of the north and elsewhere, with food prices skyrocketing. COVID-19 remains a major threat to food security globally. The United Nations World Food Programme is now warning that about 130 million more people globally could face food insecurity by the end of the year. Touching down again on security, the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Hakeem Odumosu, says any erring police officer in the state must face the consequences of his actions. Speaking at different meetings held with area commanders, heads of departments, divisional police officers, and SARS operatives, he re-echoed the directives of the Inspector General of Police on the standard operating procedure for SARS and other tactical units. And that's about it on the news updates for this hour. It's time for the sports news.
Of course, welcome back, Wake Up Nigeria fans, and it's time to do the headlines this morning here from the national dailies. And if you're with me, we'll already get started from the front page of the Nation newspaper for October 6, 2020. Of course, we already know it's a Tuesday. First big headline this morning, under poll, fear of more violence as parties gear up. APC accuses PDP of do-or-die approach. Abdulsalami panel urges peace. And massive incentives for teachers. Ekiti teacher in nation's best, or rather is nation's best. And there a photo story there. Minister of Education presenting a set of car keys to the best, overall best teacher, Mr. Osubiojo Olaoluwa from Amoye Grammar School, Ikire, Ekiti State. Interesting news about teachers and the new scale of salaries, and that's been the buzz since yesterday. At the top of the Nation newspaper, PIB proposes unbundling NNPC. On page 8 here, 3 firms emerge, or rather 2 emerge, and Izeyamo to pursue eligibility case against Obaseki Shraibu. On page 6, find this one, Okonjo-Iweala surges ahead in WTO race, and federal government launches probe into FSARS activities on page 5. Let's move on now to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, and as usual, the Vanguard is abuzz with so many headlines this morning. Mixed reactions from state governments as FG boosts teachers. FGOK's special salary scale for teachers raises tenure from 35 to 40 years, reintroduces bursary award to education students in varsities to pay stipend to Bachelor of Education students, and says granting them automatic employment after graduation now a policy. There's more on that, and you can find that on page 5. To the photo story here, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbadebia-Mila, Senate President Ahmad Lawan, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo welcoming President Muhammadu Buhari to a joint executive legislative leadership retreat at the State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa, Abuja, just yesterday. To the side of that, WTO EU agrees support for Konjo-Iweala's South Korea opponent, and new PIB seeks establishment of mainstream gas infrastructure fund. Be patient with any law you've misgivings about, says Buhari as he tells Nigerians, and of course you know what he's referring to. And Naira down to 386 Naira to the dollar in INE window. At the bottom of the page here, Ondo poll will be better than Edo, says Yakubu, INEC boss. IG warns violence mongers, says 33,785 personnel will be deployed. At the very top of the vanguard, Edo Izeyamu to pursue pre-election matters, forecloses going to tribunal. And 2023 fears as planned policy reversal targets INEC and others. We move on now to the Daily Sun newspaper. First big headline here. Governors back IGP on FSARS ban, say move greatest relief ever, and Police Affairs Ministry to investigate allegations as Lagos CP disarms operation, or rather operatives. A look at the photo story on the Daily Sun here. Teachers at a match pass to commemorate World Teachers Day at the Eagle Square in Abuja only just yesterday. And the big headline for teachers, schools reopening. FG deploys 60,000 voluntary environmental health workers in 774 LGAs. ASU seeks adequate funding infrastructure in public schools. At the very bottom of the page, 2023 presidency, Igbo youth slam PDP chair over no zoning comments. And at the very top, NUT jubilates as Buhari approves new salary structure for teachers. The Daily Trust now. And the big headline once again in favor of teachers as teachers get new salary scale and also houses. Retirement age now 65 and bursary award automatic jobs for education students. TED fund to fund teaching practice in varsities and COEs. We want approval backed by law, says NUT. A look at the teachers' match pass again from yesterday in Abuja at the Eagle Square. And at the bottom of the page, a former AKTH CMD, Professor Dutse, dies at 60. And woman beats stepdaughter to death in Adamawa. Trump recovers, says, I feel better than 20 years ago. Yeah. Restructuring Southern Middle Belt leaders tackle presidency over comments. This at the top of the Daily Sun. And Buhari approves 14.5 billion naira for census. And on COVID-19, Nigerian scientists develop faster, cheaper test kits. Our final paper for this morning, the front page here, plot to cripple INEC after Edo gubernatorial polls thickens, and plotters to drag Malami boss Mustafa into scheme. NUT hails Buhari over new salary structure for teachers, yay! And Lord's President for pushing retirement age to 40, seeks inclusion of retiring teachers in new scheme, and teachers make case for legal backing of plan. At the very bottom in red here on the polls, Jega on Naikon Otomi Naaba to lead rally against violence Friday. And to the side of the photo story, Edo gubernatorial Izeyamu to continue pre-election cases against Obaseki, says he won't challenge election outcome at tribunal. In National Assembly, key to lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, says Buhari. Find out on page 28. And finally, EU backs Konjo-Iweala, South Korean, as WTO 2 finalists. And that's it indeed for the headlines this morning. Thank you very much. I see that there's plenty of motion inside of the kitchen. I'd like to see and find out exactly what's happening there with our new chef, Chef Simbi. How you doing? What's going on there, Mary?
All right, besides motions, there's actually a lot of work going on. And Chef Simbiat is making our debut on the show this morning, making something interesting. You know, I mentioned seafood earlier. I'm going to let her tell us exactly what we are having for breakfast. So Simbiat, what is it?
Hello.
What's for breakfast?
Seafood.
Seafood?
Yeah.
Just seafood? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of? Starting from that?
We're having crawfish,
Okay.
prawns, king crabs. You can see the red bell peppers,
Okay.
yellow, green, carrots. This is already fried already.
The fish,
Then the
okay.
mixed pepper.
Okay.
Then we have oil here.
Okay.
We have seasoning, salt, lemon, mixed spice, and oregano.
Of course, the ingredients are currently on your screen right now. Seafood platter. We're making use, as she said, of fish, curry, crabs, onion, ginger, thyme, prawns, oregano, crawfish, chili pepper, Irish potatoes, yellow bell pepper, multi-purpose spice, salt, garlic, lemon, butter, parsley, lettuce, a bouillon cube, vegetable oil, spring onions, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, pepper mix, of course, as she described. So those are the ingredients we're going to make use of. The first thing we're doing is boiling that. Okay, so while we're boiling that, let's head straight to the garden right about now for fitness.
We have Wogugu this morning on Parenting Now. Today we're going to shed some light on intentional parenting. Over the last 15 years, she has lived her passion of transforming individuals and organizations via managerial skills, providing tailor-made solutions that have instilled a mind shift, thereby making people more productive and happier at work and in their personal lives. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm very well, and you?
I am great. Is this your this should be your first time in 2020, right? On TVC.
Yes.
Oh, welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
The last quarter, I say Happy New Year. Okay, so how are you doing?
I'm very well, and
Okay,
you?
good. So we're talking intentional parenting now and all of that. What are your thoughts about intentional parenting?
It's a very broad topic. For me,
It is.
For you to be intentional as a parent, you first of all have to know what's your vision, because you have to have a vision for the areas that you want to be intentional about. So you have to first of all identify the areas, and then for me, I'll say take notes of those areas, write them down. If it has to do with financial intelligence, you're trying to pass down values, you want to teach them hard work and integrity, you want to make sure that they are more independent, they're not people that are dependent on you, or if you have areas in your life, your personal life that you've seen that you would love to correct, then you have to be very, very intentional. For a parent to be intentional, the parent, first of all, has to be intentional with their own personal life. You cannot be an intentional parent if you're not taking care of your own self and all those areas that you're trying to pass and be intentional about with your children. So you first be intentional with yourself before you can be intentional with your children.
Okay, I have a case study here. I want to go into two friends I have, their personal lives and how they deal with, in this case, their sons. Now, when you have to deal with a son, now this is a particular son who, energy, you know, as a young kid, energy, there's so much energy, they don't listen to you. You tell them sit down, they don't sit down. You tell them stand up, they don't stand up. They want to, you know, you threaten to even beat them. So you find out that you have these parents who are threatening, and almost every time, over the course of a day, you've threatened the kid like 30 times. They get so used to you saying, I'll beat you, and you don't do anything, or you tap them on something. And then it goes on and on. And then some of them say, okay, he's still a kid. He doesn't know what he's doing. But then they go around destroying stuff and all of that. How do you deal with such a case, such a kid in that particular scenario?
And for that particular scenario, what we do as parents is you have to take out something that, you know, sometimes we tell them you go on timeout. That's very, very short. But if you take out something for a week or 3 days, and then within those 3 days, have conversations with them. So have a meeting, sit down, have dialogue, like, this is the reason why we're taking this away from you. We want you to understand that there are consequences for your behavior. So what's happening with that particular parent is that they're actually threatening the child right there on the spot, and they don't do anything. So the threats with no action. So the child keeps, you know, doing the same thing over and over, because the child already knows that they're just going to threaten me, or they're going to smack me right now, and then I'll be done with it. But when the child is deprived of something that they really, really like, they begin to understand that there are real consequences to their behavior. Okay, you're not going to your friend's house for this holiday, or I'm not paying for this particular lesson. You have a home teacher instead of going to a summer class where you have your friends, and maybe the boy is a teenager. You're going to see all your friends, and all of you are going to really show off your clothes and all of that. You know, teenagers would like to associate with their friends. And you say, no, this particular time, we're going to have a private home teacher. That's like a punishment. Even if, you know, to another person, it might not, like, I mean, it's the same thing. Or you take out something, maybe they are,
yeah,
device,
I mean, what if
a phone, or
okay, what if it's a case?
Take it out for days, like a week. Let it be very obvious that something is happening. The child has to know that I've done something bad, and this is the reason why my parents are taking this away from me. Because sometimes we like quick fixes, and that doesn't work, because the quick fixes can get you the result in the moment, but doesn't change the character of the child.
And what if it's a case whereby
behavior.
All right, what if it's a case whereby the kid, 2-3 years old, they can't have a coherent conversation with you? You made mention of sitting them down to talk to them. Yeah, okay, let's say 2 years, 3 years. Or they can't maintain a coherent conversation in that particular case.
So, yeah, that happens. What most parents they really take for granted is that they don't go for counseling. They don't think they need a coach. And for me, even as a life coach, I still talk to other parent coaches who are also older with experience as well. And they tell me things like, you have to have different kinds of tones, your voice. They need to know when you're serious. They need to know when you're in authority. So when you talk to them at different times, and then when you affirm, that this is you cannot do that. They know that tone. And they respond to that tone. When you have all the time, you sound the same way. They cannot differentiate when you're serious or when you're not serious. And that's, like I said, for a 2-3 years old, because I also have a daughter, and at that age, you need to be consistent. I think the problem is consistency. Most parents are tired from work, and it happens to me as well. It happened to me. Sometimes my husband tell me, don't give up, keep, reaffirming what you said. And then this is the mode of punishment, let the person know that they are wrong, and do not waste time to reaffirm that I do not support what you're doing. Don't give them too much time. 10 minutes, you're still arguing. That also happens, because then at that age, they're trying to really establish that they also do what they want. So you as a parent, you just have to be consistent.
Now, exactly. Let me pick you up on that word. That
they understand when you're in authority and you're very, very serious about what you're saying, that I want you to do it this way. Sit down, take something out from them. You can't watch TV. You need to listen to me. Sit down and listen to me. I am serious about what's going on. If you don't listen, you're not going to get this. They can understand that. No toys. They sit down. Mommy, what did you say? I said that. Okay, mommy. Then they get to do what you want. But you have to be consistent, patient, consistent and patient, and then you have to have a tone that they understand when you are
serious. Exactly. Now, I want to take you on that word, that consistency. Let's also break it down. When we say consistency, so some parents can understand. Now, I have seen case scenarios where parents treat the kid the way they feel. So maybe the kid does something wrong, but because you had a good day at the office, you are very happy. One serious alert entered into your account. You just play, go and sit down, and you understand. But the kid did something wrong. Now, at other times, the kid didn't really do anything wrong because you had a very bad day. Your boss, there was a cut in the office and then you come home and then you shout on the kid. You use the tone that you would use when you are maybe dishing out punitive measures. You use that particular tone. So you you start passing some inconsistent or confusing messages to the kids' minds and all of that. Exactly. What do we tell parents so that they can maintain such consistency irrespective of their emotional state?
The reason why most parents do that, this happens even between couples as well. Oh, sorry, they're taking the light. They're going to bring it back, I guess. Can I have lantern, please? So why most parents?
It's not a problem. We know how it is now. It's not where we are. Go ahead.
Okay. In Nigeria. So they're going to bring it back anyway.
All right, go ahead.
So the thing is, when you do that, you're actually being abusive, emotionally abusive to the child, and the child begins to think that is how people who love them behave. So they tend to now accept abuse when they grow up, because they think this is how people who love them, people who are inconsistent, people who are unstable, emotionally unstable. So for me, as a parent, genuinely, there should be emotional boundaries. Seriously. emotional boundaries in your heart, in your mind, and it has to be a lifestyle. It's not something that you fake. You can't fake it. You have to talk to yourself, have time to have a session with a coach or a counselor, tell them these are the things I'm struggling with, I need help with this. And then there has to be a change of mindset for that parent to implement what I'm saying. So the emotional boundaries allows that parent not to continue that abusive cycle of passing down negative emotions. Today you're happy, tomorrow, and this happens even between couples too. You find some people today they're happy, tomorrow they're not happy, and they are very unstable in the way they relate to their partner, and then they pass that down to their children as well. But if that person, that individual, comes to terms with the agreement that this is who I am and I want to work on it, I know that there's a challenge here, this is not how I should relate to people, then they can get the right help, and then their mindset can change and they can become more intentional on how they relate to their children, and they know that, okay, I can't be passing down what happened at work to this child. How are you doing today? And once your child should be like a regulator, like, this is no go zone. Like, I can't be transparent. I mean, how are you? How was your day? You relate normal. And then you're still dealing with something, but you have to still relate normal, take care of the child, hug the child, be a parent, like, be a grown up.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. When you came on, I let out a scream, up NEPA inside here. Let me give a shout out to them. They are very, very, they're doing well. They're doing well. They just took a little bit back. I hope it's not the jet, but hey, thank you so much for your insight on intentional parenting this morning. We'll continue this next week. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Have a good day.
Okay, Mary, the light doesn't go off in the kitchen. We don't have to scream there. But what you do with the fish there? What's happening? There's so much happening there. How far have we gone?
Thank you very much, Mike. A lot has actually happened. As it is, we have the potatoes boiling. Those are Irish potatoes. Yeah. Still have Chef Simbiat on the show today, making our debut, as I mentioned earlier. And so far, so good. Let's talk about what we've done so far. So besides the potatoes boiling, what did we do with the crabs?
We steamed the king crabs.
Okay, so with as little water as possible.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so did we put anything inside?
Of course.
Okay, so what did we put inside?
We have the garlic.
Salt,
bouillon cube,
okay,
and chili pepper.
Okay, so that's what we put in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are about to. What do you want to do with the prawns?
Yeah, I need to fry with the margarine.
Okay, so try as much as possible to keep your margarine as little as possible. It doesn't have to be too much. As you can see, it's minimal quantity. So that's the margarine in it. So let's get frying. Now, is there a reason you did not, because most of us, when we're preparing crabs at home, we drown the crabs in water. But I noticed you decided to steam it. Is there a particular reason? Is it because it's still going to the stew?
Yeah, first. And secondly, you don't have to put too much water in crabs because it should be too soft.
Okay. So it doesn't take so long to cook anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You don't need to pour a lot of water in it, so...
Okay. So butter, what we have in there is garlic, margarine, and lemon.
Here.
Yeah. So we squeezed lemon juice in that. So that's what we have.
Is going in now.
Okay. So the crawfish goes in first before we fry the prawns, right? Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Wow. That's the amazing thing about this. They don't waste time to brown. Like, no story. Cooking.
Exactly. It doesn't take time.
It doesn't take time, and it can be very tasty, especially if you love.
The crabs and the prawns. Because if you overcook them, they will be soft. You won't get that fish texture
that you need from them. It will now be kind of like mushy. Yeah. So what are we going to do with this pepper?
After the whole thing, we have to fry the sauce and put the whole seafood in it.
Oh, so it's a one-pot dish. We are going to fry the sauce and then put everything inside, including the potatoes?
No.
So the potatoes are on the side?
Yes, that one is another separate level. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing with the potatoes?
We have to toast it in a butter sauce.
Okay.
Then with garlic, then sprinkle some chili pepper and garnish it with parsley.
Sounds really interesting. Sounds really interesting. Okay, so we'll get on with this. Soon enough, the potatoes will be ready. Hopefully, we'll get to show you exactly what Simbiat will be doing with the potatoes. In the meantime, however, it's time for us to take a break. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria. All right, welcome again to the Kitchen Radio on Wake Up Nigeria. Chef Simbiat still in charge. And as you can see, this is the end product. Note, I did not say results, but end product of the prawns that's gotten everyone in here going, ooh, ah. Yeah. So, Alima, take a good look at that because you're not going to get a bite. Okay, so moving on. The potatoes are ready, aren't they? They are.
Can I see that?
Yeah, okay, sure. So, they are ready? Okay, so just a little more.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the potatoes are ready, we're going to get our sauce ready. So the first thing we're going to do is to put oil in the pan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then of course pour in the pepper when the oil is hot enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so afterwards, what we'll do? We're going to season it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm really eager
down,
to see
take
what
it
you're going to do
easy.
with the potatoes. The potatoes especially because buttered potatoes can be amazing.
Of course,
Like
you're
really
right.
amazing. So I can't wait to see what you're going to do. Or, you know, every chef actually has their style of cooking. And I've realized something while being here, and that's the fact that what works for one might not necessarily work for another. And yet everyone seems to pull it off somehow. So I'm just quite curious as to how you do your potato in butter. I'm just very curious. Okay, so those prawns, oh gosh, they look amazing. Now, is it the butter that is responsible for the enlarged size?
No.
I'm actually asking that deliberately because sometimes when we do this with prawns, what happens is they have this shrunken look.
No.
So I'm wondering why these ones look like chubby. That was the best thing I could think of.
This is actually big onion. This is the big size of the crawfish.
Okay.
The butter, the reason why we are using the butter is just to add another extra flavor to it. Instead of,
okay.
you know, oil is just normal. There's nothing special about oil.
Yeah.
But margarine, if you use there's another flavor, smell that comes out of it.
Comes with it.
Yeah.
And you know, some of these dishes, sometimes when you go for fine dining, you do have to pay through your nose, exactly, for a plate of it, especially when it comes to seafood. They can be really expensive. But take a look at your screen. If you missed it earlier, the menu for today, we're talking about seafood platter. That's what we're making today. Ingredients, the major ones you should know is we have fish. As you can see, the fried fish is there. We have crawfish, which we had fried earlier. We also have our prawns, which are currently frying. And of course, we have potatoes and pepper and vegetables as well. So since these are almost ready, we should be able to show how the pepper will come along.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so could you check the potatoes? Do you think they're fine? I think they're fine. Okay, so my curiosity is getting the better of me. I'm feeling like a cat. Like I am that excited. Okay, so take this off.
Careful.
Sure. Take it up. Is this ready?
Yes,
Okay. Let's make use of this. Let's see. Okay. So, nah, it's not. It's not. Wow.
The reason is because, you know, these potatoes, I think they are different types. There
Yeah.
are some that get soft.
Very quickly, as a matter of fact.
And there's another one that is always tough to
This
boil.
one will be a joy to fry. You know why?
Yeah.
Because your potatoes are going to end up really crispy.
Yeah.
So yes, this one will be a joy to fry. I'm going to ask you where you got them after. Because I think I would like to get some of those for myself. There's something about potatoes, when you get the really hard ones, when you season them right and you fry them, my gosh, it can be really amazing.
Okay.
Unlike the ones that get all soggy while you're frying. Very tiring, really. Okay, so those are ready as well. Let's take them out. There we go. So, let's start with the pepper.
Can you perceive it?
Yes, now. The aroma is just super.
Easy now.
Remember, not just margarine, you need to also put in some garlic as well as lemon, okay? So those add up together, fusing it. That's actually an option to marinating, right?
Yeah.
Because some people prefer marinating, but if you do not like to do so, this is like a cheat trick for you to make use of, and it works. It really does. Okay. So now that that is done and dusted, look at that. You just want to bite it, don't you? Just want to bite it. See that? All right. So up next, she actually did say up next. Okay. So up next, indeed, is the making of the stew. Sounded like taming of the shrew, didn't it? Okay. So pouring in the oil now.
I want
Right.
the pot to heat up a little bit.
To heat up a bit. Okay. So can't wait to do this. Can't wait to do this. So what do you serve in your catering outfit?
Okay.
Besides seafood, which looks
Soup
really yummy.
bowls,
Okay.
rice,
Soup bowls, rice.
small chops,
Small chops.
pepper snail,
Okay.
chin chin.
Aha. Oh my gosh.
I started
have a
with
feeling
snacks actually.
You what?
I started with snacks.
You started with snacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so chin chin, meat pie. Do you do
just
that?
chin chin.
Just chin chin.
Small chops,
Okay.
puff puff, in general, small chops in
There's a lot
general.
of money in that industry. Yeah,
course.
yeah, they won't let you know. But believe me, when you buy one pack of small chops of 5, because my sister used to dabble into all of those
Okay.
at some point, so I know how much profit could be made from even just a few bowls
But you
of
know it's
small
stressful,
chops. But it's
actually.
very stressful.
Exactly.
But you know, there are certain things you can use now to make it easier for you. I'm going to show you something that will blow your mind. It's one
okay.
of those things
I
you can
can't
use
wait.
to make the wrap.
Okay.
It makes it
The
really
sheets.
easy. Yes, the sheets
Okay.
for the wrappings.
Yeah.
Really easy. You won't believe it. You'll be like, oh my gosh, why haven't I thought of
can't
this?
wait.
I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you. Okay, so I believe the pot is hot enough now. So when did you decide to go into making food?
The thing is, right from time,
Yeah.
I've always loved cooking. Like that's like the easiest thing for me.
Cooking.
Cooking.
Ah.
Even back then in school, whenever I go home, like I cook a whole, like everybody was like, "Are you sure you make all these things yourself? Are you sure? Are you sure?"
You know what? Let's continue this conversation between ourselves afterwards, because right now Mazino is on standby. Hi, Mazino.
Well, thank you very much, Mary. So, people, let's get to it. Now, the Coalition of Societies for the Right of Older Persons in Nigeria was formed out of a conviction to have a platform for the enrichment and sustenance of the well-being of older persons in Nigeria. And today, we have Damilola Grillo, gerontologist and the founder of Hold the Age. She is also the Lagos State Coordinator for Crosspin, and she is here to tell us all about what they do. Welcome to the show, Damilola. How are you? Hello, Damilola. Are you with us?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Good to have you here. All right, now, so we are short of time, but I'm just going to let you tell us exactly what it is you do as a social entrepreneur and what you do for the aged here in Lagos and as a career.
Okay. My name is Damilola Grillo. Like you mentioned, I'm a gerontologist. A lot of people don't know what that means. A gerontologist seeks to check for the welfare of older people. That means I studied aging and older adults. So at the Coalition of Society of Rights for Older Persons in Nigeria, we're all about bringing all the societies, CSOs, NGOs that are doing something, advocacy, charity for older adults in Nigeria.
Okay.
And as we all know that the population of Nigeria is over 200 million.
Yeah.
The population of older adults in Nigeria is not that much for even the government to really do something for them. So October 1st, which is also the Independence Day of Nigeria, is a day that the International Day of Older Persons is celebrated worldwide in all the countries across the globe. But because it is the Independence Day in Nigeria, it is overlooked upon, and we try and find some other days to make an awareness on older persons in Nigeria. And for this year, the theme was basically on how COVID has affected older adults and how aging is affecting older adults during this COVID pandemic. So this is what we do in Kosrope. We make advocacy. We try to reach out to indigent older adults. We also, as much as possible, we've been trying to get a bill across in the Senate to make sure that the well-being of older adults is attended to, at least for older adults to have their own right. For instance, now there are no welfare packages for older adults in Nigeria, apart from even the ones that are retired from government or even from private organizations where they get benefits from. But what about the indigent older adults? How can we help them? So these are some of the things we do at Kosrobe.
Now, as a social entrepreneur, it might not be easy getting funding to be able to help these older adults. So how do you go about it?
Okay, for instance, now, during this period of the pandemic, our president, that is Senator Eze Ajufo, has been having high-level meetings with the Ministry of Humanitarian to at least get them involved with older adults in Nigeria. But as an organization, in my own organization, for instance, I do a lot of, how would I call it now, family and friends supporting, charity works and all of that. For instance, I'm on a bill of, I'm on a program called 360 for the 60th anniversary in Nigeria.
Okay.
And what do I mean by this? I reached out to quite a number of my friends, families that, okay, this is what we want to do. We want to give 10,000 Naira to an indigent older adult in the state, 10 in each state in Nigeria. That is 360 people, and to give them 10,000 Naira. So for an organization like ours, we depend a lot on friends, supporters, family,
sponsors.
And they are reaching out because they've never seen an organization coming out to raise funds for older adults like that.
Very interesting. Now, good work with what you're doing in Ibadan with the market women, the older market women. Is there any luck or any perhaps maybe expansion on that to other states, maybe here in Lagos and other places?
I didn't hear that.
I said good job with what you're doing with the older women in marketplaces in Ibadan. I read about the work that you guys are doing there to help the aged people with all the work that they go through. Are you looking at expanding this?
That was actually a long time ago. That's not even recent.
Oh, okay. So are you going to do anything so again recently? Are you going to be doing something of the sort again?
Okay, now what we're trying to do, what I'm doing recently is reaching out, is getting 10,000 Naira each for an older adult. That is 10 in each state. That is my own organization, but I'm talking on behalf of Kosropin today. What we are doing in Kosropin right now is to try as much as possible to reach individuals in Nigeria to come to the aid of older adults through advocacy, through help, through charity, any means they can use to reach out to older adults. For instance, we don't have welfare packages for them. They seems not to have any healthcare welfare in hospitals. No older adults can enter into an hospital today and say, okay, I don't have money to do this. Can you help me? No, it's not.
Tell you what we're going to do.
So what we're trying to do now is to reach out.
We're going to have to cut you here because we have run out of time, but we're going to get all the information that you couldn't tell and have it on our social media platform so people can reach out and try and help these aged in our society just as you're doing. But thank you very much for joining us on the show here today. We look forward to having you again and also contributing to the good work you're doing. Do stay tuned. It's Still Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be back with the final hour for the show and plenty of food, maybe to go around. Do stay tuned. Okay, if you guys are just joining us, she's trying to teach me Jerusalem. So we're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2. No, now we were pretty. I beg, please.
Oh, like this. Oh my God. So you might be wondering what our mornings would look like without this feel-good breakfast show.
Absolutely.
I promise to come back to these lessons.
No, I'll take it. I'll take the lessons.
You take it, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
I can't coordinate. I have no coordination at all when it comes to dancing or moving my body. So it's zero fun. But anyhow, it's going to be a great morning, not a moody one. So, hey, we don't want you to drag yourself out of bed. We want you to be very excited, and that's why we'll bring such a beautiful, beautiful show to you every single morning. It's going to be difficult without us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. Now, we know how important our mornings are. That's why we do not hesitate to be the sunlight that you need to brighten your day, and we are brightening it right now.
So we look forward to spending our mornings with you every single day. So thank you very much for joining us, turning on that TV and letting us be the people who welcome you to every single day.
Yes, now welcome to the final 45 minutes of lights, camera, action, and magic. My name is Tokwe Oloniyo, and you are?
Mazino Peel. So don't miss the great experience by streaming live. If you have to leave the house, tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send the comments in using the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Tell me if I'm good, if I do.
No, let's just rehearse. Don't do it. Don't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now, our app is available for download on Android and iOS stores, and it allows you to watch us on your mobile devices from anywhere in the world. You should definitely download that.
Yes, so we'll like to remind you once again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv, and you can watch all our previous shows and everything that you missed.
Yes, now for my little something extra. On Fridays at 2:30 p.m. we get to chat with your favorite celebrities. You want to tune in this Friday for that.
So I'm really going to take those classes. My wife keeps telling me, it's not like as if she can dance herself, but she always makes it seem like as if I'm horrible. I don't know if you guys have seen me try to dance.
Just the way you should start is just know how to vibe when you're sitting down. Like,
So
know how to
vibe-
give those
Oh,
energies.
no. Oh, I can nod my head.
Oh my God.
What is this?
I know say nod head.
Well, they say pot should not call kettle black, so let me not
Keep
just say
quiet
too much.
as
But
it-
let's be real. The rich people, do they know how to dance? Like,
You'll be
all they do is
surprised.
just...
I know,
Don't stress yourself, so don't
I know
worry.
how
We
to
are
dance.
projecting
And
and
I'm
calling
rich.
money for us.
I'm so
We are
rich.
calling money.
Rain is falling, and a number of people have decided
Yes, now. Can't you hear the
People have
group?
decided that.
Yeah, good for you.
Hey, bring Okada. How will you go?
Oh, this guy is
So,
wicked.
a number of people have decided that, irrespective of the rain, they will still come out to protest.
Oh.
In fact, some people have even responded on our own page.
Okay,
And
what are they
that, look,
saying?
they will come out. They love this. Naira Marley, we will come
Even
out.
with the
We
rain,
will protest.
the rain
So
holders
I know.
to come and hold it.
It did not work last weekend. Did you see the video?
Someone
on
tried to
Instagram?
hold the rain.
Yeah, in Benin.
Oh wow.
I know that place
They
is very
work.
strong. It's all about when power, jump power, shaking power, go bar. So the person, that Benin, Benin knows
Don't
to
try
do
Benin.
like that.
Before they will come for us, Mary, please take us away with the news.
Please ignore everything that has been said in the last 5 minutes. It's time for us to take the news updates. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, reported 120 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 59,465. This time, Rivers State recorded the highest number of cases with 65 new infections, followed by the FCT with 12 and Ogun with 9 cases. So far, 50,951 people have been discharged, while 1,113 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Now, inbound passengers to Nigeria are complaining of challenges they face while trying to meet government's requirements on coronavirus testing on arrival from other countries. Some of the passengers have alleged that the process is a scam to extort and frustrate travelers who are eager to reconnect with their families. The federal government wants the PCR test done within 96 hours before departure and preferably within 72 hours. Passengers are required to remain in self-isolation on arrival and carry out a COVID-19 test in designated laboratories 7 days after arrival. Many passengers have expressed frustration in accessing the online portal, the cost of the test on arrival, duplicated charges, and inability to trace the laboratories. To security issues, the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Hakeem Odumosu, says any erring police officer in the state must face the consequences of his actions. Speaking at different meetings held with area commanders, heads of departments, divisional police officers, and SARS operatives, he re-echoed the directives of the Inspector General of Police on the standard operating procedure for SARS and other tactical units. He also made it clear that he was going to arrest and prosecute any personnel who flouts the IGP's directives. The police boss appealed to the general public to collaborate with the police in the fight against police brutality, harassment, incivility, and extortion in the state. And despite the ban on operatives of the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad from conducting patrols, stop and search, and indiscriminately checking the phones and laptops of young Nigerians, some Nigerians have accused some officials of the police unit of still engaging in such activities. To express their displeasure over these occurrences, these Nigerians in Lagos have decided to stage a peaceful protest. They will be gathering at the entrance of Lekki Phase 1 at 9 a.m. from where they will move to other parts of the state. The protest is spearheaded by some entertainers, amongst them Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley. Now, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics says in its last report that due to the impact of the coronavirus, food insecurity is most prevalent in Rivers and the FCT. About 79% and 72% of households, respectively, are said to be skipping meals. Lagos and Kano states were also found to have slightly serious degrees of food crisis. Floods and violence have also repeatedly struck this year in many parts of the north and elsewhere, with food prices skyrocketing. COVID-19 remains a major threat to food security globally. The United Nations World Food Programme is now warning that about 130 million more people globally could face food insecurity by the end of the year. Back to security, the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Hakeem Odumosu, well, we mentioned earlier that he said any erring police officer in the state must face the consequences of his actions. And that's it on the news updates for today on Wake Up Nigeria. Kidoki, back again to the kitchen because we have so much to show you today. Chef Simbiat still in charge here. As it is, we have our seafood more or less ready to eat. But it's time for us to show you that part I've been really excited about, talking about buttering the potatoes. Okay, so that's the seafood over there. So you can feed your eyes, as they say. Take a look at this. The sauce looks amazing, doesn't it? Amazing, I tell you. Just look at your screen. Oh boy, I want to dig into that. Okay, so the fish is served separately. It's fried.
Yeah.
Now, something interesting about this fish, I should let you know, is that it's actually fresh fish. Fresh croaker fish, right?
Not the frozen one.
Not the frozen one.
Yeah.
And it's bought right here in Lagos. So it's actually fished by the fishermen right here in Lagos. So this is fresh fish. You know, when you hear of fresh fish, this is the real fresh fish. And you can be sure that it tastes really nice. The type they call Ejao song. Like really, really tasty. Okay?
So the potatoes will be going in now.
All right. So there you go. Some people will cover it with butter and put it in the oven. You see why I said every chef has their style. This one is easy.
Easy peasy.
Very easy. So you're at home, you're not feeling up to too much activity. Get your potatoes ready this way. Now, just as an aside, if I don't want to make use of Irish, can I make use of sweet potatoes?
Yes.
So sweet potatoes can do the trick for this as well.
Exactly.
So buttered potatoes, buttered sweet potatoes sounds really
you can use
tasty.
anything you like.
Just make sure it's really soft.
Exactly.
So that when you do the buttering, it doesn't come off, I don't know, unpalatable, more like, yeah, it's really soft. Easy to see that.
So this spice will be going in.
Okay, so what's in here?
Garlic, onion, and ginger.
That's powder though.
The soya pepper.
With the soya pepper.
To give it another flavor.
Ha, gang. So there you go. Now that schools have resumed, this is something you can actually make for your children. Something exciting for their lunch pack, something that will make them want more. And when I say more, I mean more. You see that? Buttered and then, of course, seasoned with soya pepper as well as ginger, garlic, and onion powder. Looks really good. And I can't wait to confirm the taste at the end of the show.
So the parsley is going in now.
Okay.
Fresh parsley.
Fresh parsley,
Yeah.
okay. So there you go. Fresh parsley. Are we putting in the...
No.
Oh, okay. See the colors now. That's what they say. You feed your eyes before you feed your belly. Yeah. This is a meal and a half. You know, seafood, potatoes, fresh fish.
A meal and more.
In fact.
As they say.
Wow. So there you have it. The buttering of the potatoes I've been looking forward to. I've learned another way to butter my potatoes. And this is actually very easy. Because I didn't have to do all the baking and... Yeah.
Easy and fast.
Very fast. Very, very fast.
At the end of the day, you get the same result.
Yes, yes. So, our potatoes are ready to be served. Now, the only thing we have more to do is to serve. And so Chef Simbiat will definitely get busy with serving. And at the end of the show, you would see what the plating would be like. Right now, though, music always goes with food. We all know that. So while we enjoy this meal, don't worry, I'll wait for everyone else. But while we enjoy this meal, let's have some music right about now.
Thank you so much, Mary. I can't wait to eat that food. You know that you have to consider me now, please. But moving on, we have Vincent Sampson, popularly known as Tonic Music. Now, he is an Afro-pop and hip-hop artist who started making music from a very early age. He brags of singing and rapping effortlessly, and he is about to take us on a journey with his music this morning. Hi, Tonic. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Tonic.
Yeah.
What are you performing for us this morning?
Performing Davido by Tonic.
So, Nick Music, I can see that you are ready to perform. What are you performing for us this morning?
Yeah, Tonic is here already, you can see, and I'm performing Davido by Tonic.
Davido, okay.
Yeah.
Now, was this song inspired by Davido, the artist, or is just a mere coincidence? Tonic Music.
Yeah, what up, my people? I go by the name Tonic. Come on, that's a kid, that's a Yoruba boy.
All right, then, you know what?
My people, how far now?
All right, then, blow us away then. Let's hear you perform Davido.
Tonic, we are run out the city. Temperature. It's mentor on the beat. Darling, girl, I know you like designers, like Chama. I know you want to touch Cayenne. Girl, like sis, I beg you, know they cause drama. You carry double wahala, so therefore, it's a banga. Those mina. Waka waka fue, oh. Tonic, baby, waka fue. When I blow like David, buy you Porsche, buy you jet. When I blow like David, blow like David. Walk around for you, you my baby. Run around for you, you my baby. Walk around for you. Tonic, for you, my baby. For example, say my father name na Dele. For example, say my father name na Denuga. For example, say my father name na Dangote. For example, say my father name na $10. And I will give you everything you need, oh. And I will buy you everything you want to. And I go mina. Waka fue, oh. Tonic, baby, waka fue. And I go mina. Waka fue, oh. Baby, waka fue. As long as I live, I believe. I go give you everything you need. As long as I live, I believe. I go give you everything you need. Give you $1,000. When I blow like David, buy you Porsche, buy you jet. When I blow like David, oh. Darling, girl, I know you like designers, like Chama. I know you want to touch Cayenne. Girl, like sis, I beg you, know they cause drama. You carry double wahala, so therefore, it's a banga. Those mina. Waka fue, oh. Tonic, baby, waka fue. Mina. Waka fue, oh. Baby, waka
Christian sound.
Oh, welcome back, and let's do health now. It's so good to have you guys back here on Wake Up Nigeria. So joining us right now, we have Ngozi Ekong, and we're going to be talking about brachial plexus. It's so good to have you on, Ngozi. Welcome to health here on Wake Up Nigeria. Hello, can you hear me? Are you with us?
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
Good to have you here. So we're going to be talking brachial plexus today. I hope I got the name right. Is that what it's called, brachial plexus? Do tell us exactly what it is.
Yes, it's called, yes, it's called brachial plexus injury. Yes,
okay.
That's it, that's the name.
So what is it exactly?
Brachial plexus is actually an injury to the network of nerves around the neck region. The network of nerves around the neck region is called brachial plexus, hence the name brachial plexus injury. And it usually happens at birth. And it could be actually vaginally or cesarean. So depending on the fact is when the baby is being pulled out of the mom, that's when the injury occurs.
Okay. Now, is this that injury that I've noticed where one arm seems a bit deformed?
Yes, exactly. So it depends on because there are different severity, there are different types of BPI. So some would actually be a lot shorter than the other, while in some cases you might not even notice the difference. But then again, it depends on the type of BPI or brachial plexus injury that occurs on the child.
So does this deformity mean that the arm is not usable, or is it just does it affect only certain parts of the arm?
So it's just the arm. So like I said earlier, it depends on the type of injury. There's some types that you wouldn't see the difference as a neuropraxia or the neuroma. You probably will not notice the difference, and that would require just physical therapy. However, if you have the rupture of the avulsion, where the nerves are cut out of the spinal cord, then you will notice the difference, and then you will require surgery. And most people who can afford it travel out of the country to get the surgery.
Okay. Now, it's a very sad kind of injury, especially when it happens at birth, where mothers are absolutely disappointed to see that their babies have these deformities. But who is to blame for this kind of injury?
So it's an interesting question, right? Because it's a bit sensitive.
Yes, it is.
I would say that sometimes you do not know the nature or the circumstances around the birth. Some people would say maybe the midwife or the doctor. And then again, there are some situations that this is actually unavoidable. For example, if the cord is tied around the baby's neck. At that time, the doctor is more concerned about the safety of the baby and the mom. So usually it's a bit debatable as regards who is to blame
for the injury.
BPI surgery,
Okay, so let's talk about brachial plexy with older people now. Now, I know that it happens, I know that it occurs. How does it come about when it's an older person? And are there symptoms? Are there ways to avoid it? What do we look out for?
So for BPI for adults, it's usually caused through an accident and direct impact to the neck region. So if you hear people who are bikers, those are people susceptible to BPI BP injury. Bikers, and then it could happen during a road accident, a motor accident, or majorly the direct impact to the neck region that could cause BPI.
Now, you scared me a lot there because I'm an everyday biker personally. I don't know whether you researched that before you mentioned so. But is it curable? Is it fixable?
It's not curable because it's an injury to the nerve. Yes, you can have surgery, but you will not get 100% recovery rate. You will need physical therapy depending on the type of BPI. You will need physical therapy and occupational therapy for the rest of your life. If it's a type of the injury that is about the neuroma or neuropraxia, you just need physical therapy. But if it's a rupture or an avulsion, you will need surgery, and it's not 100% recovery.
Now, I've noticed some people actually wear braces, and it's actually perpetual due to this kind of an injury. So are you saying that this doesn't fix in any way or help the nerves? Is there no process where you can learn or relearn how to use the nerves that operate the arm?
So, unfortunately, we do not have BPI specialists in Nigeria. So and then the thing about the BPI issue is not everybody knows about it, even outside the country. There's not so much research around it. Now, when you see people wear a brace, the brace is just to prevent the arm from further damage, right?
Okay.
And it also just helps the arm, so pretty much, yeah.
So this is totally different from when you have a dislocation to the arm or any other part of the body, is it?
Yes, a dislocation is just an injury to the joints.
Oh.
BPI is an injury to the nerve, yes. That's the difference.
Okay. Now, I want you to give a bit of clarification there again. Now, when you say nerve, then this has to do with signals or impulses from the brain to that part of the body, isn't it?
Exactly, yes. Yes, it is.
And that is why it will be so difficult to fix, let me use the word.
Yes, well, yes. You can't get 100% recovery. You can only transfer. They have some type of surgeries. We call them tendon transfers, nerve transfers, where some nerves are taken from the back of the leg and then fixed on the part of the neck. But you will not get 100% recovery because it's a nerve. And the nerves takes a longer time to grow, to regrow or regenerate.
Now, just before we end, I wanted to make note again. Now, this is something that happens to newborns, and it also can happen to older people. But when you say it's a nerve damage, it has to be caused by some sort of trauma when it happens, yes? It doesn't just occur on its own.
Yes, usually when a baby is being pulled out of the mom, when they're stuck at the pelvic bone, that's when it occurs. So it's a pulling effect that actually causes the BPI.
Okay. All right. So it's the awareness month for brachial plexus. What are the plans? What plans do you have for this month?
Okay, so brachial plexus is something that, like I said earlier, is something new. It's new news for some people, right? So we have an offline and online support group for moms who have kids with BPI. Now, it's a safe place to share knowledge, be there for other moms, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And then we also have free online therapies for moms who have kids with BPI who cannot afford to go to the physical therapist. We have international PTs who work with us in the US and Turkey who offer pro bono therapies. We're also working with the NSP to see how we can drive some level of awareness amongst PTs, and especially for moms who can't afford it. The key thing to know is, once that happens to your child, please do not take that child to a traditional bone setter. It is a nerve injury, not a bone injury. They only make it worse. So take them to a medical professional who is usually a physical therapist, who will help manage that child. And early intervention is key. As early as 1 month old or 2 weeks old, once you see that happens to your child, please take that child to a medical professional who is a physical therapist.
Oh, that's a very, very big advice you just gave there. Please note once again, she said, if you notice such a thing with your kid, no matter how early, make sure you take them to a certified professional, okay? Not what a traditional massage therapist like we would normally do. Now, we have a couple of questions here coming in from the listeners. And I think you've mentioned this already, but they're asking again how exactly it happens to older people. So if you'd recap exactly what you said from before, when we asked that.
So for the older people, it has to be a direct impact to the neck, and it's usually caused during an accident. It could be a bike accident, it could be a motor accident, or when an adult is being hit. It just has to be a direct impact to the neck region. That's when it happens for the adults.
It's funny that it's an impact to the neck that actually causes, affects the arm. But I guess, hey, that's how nerves work, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, hey, we're looking forward to what the process is or whatever it is you've put together for Brachial Plexus month here this month would be. So do let us know some of the details that we would be looking forward to once again just before we round off today.
So basically, we have a support group for moms. We're offering free online therapy for moms who have kids with BPI under 1 year old. We have international certified physical therapists, and then we're also trying to raise as much awareness as we can on BPI. It is not talked about. It's new news for some people. We see it, but we cannot put a name to it. So we're first giving out the free therapies, and then we're driving more and more awareness on BPI and how to manage BPI.
Ngozi Ekong, thank you very much for bringing that awareness here on television and to everybody else who's listening and watching as well. We really appreciate that you've made out time for us this Tuesday morning, and we're looking forward to also joining with all the activities that you have prepared for this month. Thank you once again. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, if you're still listening and if you're like me or watching and if you're like me, hey, we cannot wait. It's seafood day here today. And the beautiful Chef
you need a
Simiat,
bucket of water? Are you
absolutely
crying?
fantastic Chef Simiat has made something fantastic.
I thought Mazino is allergic to seafood.
I don't understand.
I think he's allergic to
wait.
or fasting or
Chef, you are doing well.
Thank you.
You can shoot in the shop.
Welcome to the kitchen. Again, Chef Simiat here. The chef who doesn't like to be called a chef, but she cooks so well, you just wonder why. This is the seafood platter.
This is an amazing
The one
platter.
and only seafood platter.
This is, if you have offended your wife,
Simiat, tell us
just
about
order
this. Oh yeah? Tell us.
Here we have croaker fish.
Okay.
King
Fresh
crab.
croaker fish.
Fresh
by the
one,
way.
exactly.
Okay.
Fresh one, because the fresh one is more tastier than the frozen one.
And more expensive.
More expensive, exactly, more expensive. We have crawfish here, we have king crabs.
What do you call that?
Crawfish.
Crayfish.
Crawfish.
It's crayfish, but you go to my house for craw.
No.
Okay, it's different from crayfish.
Different,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, sorry.
Craw.
Sorry.
So we have crawfish,
Yeah.
we have Irish potatoes,
Okay.
and I think that's all, yeah.
Yes.
Crabs.
Prawns, there's prawns.
Yes.
There's crab here.
And then, of course, we have those vegetables we put in the sauce. You can see them playing on the fish.
Is the potatoes roasted or boiled?
Boiled. And
See,
we have
eh?
toast. And
Some Niger Delta people, they want to start swimming now and showing themselves. Let's just serve them something. No, okay. I think I'll be tasting it.
Yeah,
Some
Mary
people are
is
soliloquizing.
tasting
Chef
this.
Simiat.
Somebody's already tasting it. You might want to look
so-
now.
We serve this.
I'm excited
We
much.
serve this.
Ibe,
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, this looks yummy.
Yeah.
Don't let it drop, please.
So if I'm
So
going to
just-
order this,
just try this.
how do I contact
Just
you?
try this.
Let's try it. Hey, thank you very much. All right, I wish I had another.
Just go ahead.
Mazino, just try
On
it.
that place you are trying.
What are you doing?
It's also.
You know how many people are here? You know how many people are here?
I'm not told you that.
Show you know I'm the one
for this
here.
one.
Go show her.
Wow. I can
Guys.
get crunchy from here.
The crunchiness is fantastic, but of course, what you expect when it's seafood. Chef Simiat, you're doing well.
Don't talk with your mouth full.
My mouth are not full enough yet. I'm gonna put more in there and make it full. But fantastic stuff, man.
Simiat, thank you so much. This seafood platter is quite a platter, and we can't wait to dig into it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
This is for a museum. I'm carrying it now. We're
It's
just
not
going to freeze it out.
In your belly.
Okay, no. You know now, if it's me, it's not this way I do like it. What till now you miss here, but. All right, so it's been a wonderful time on the show. Thank you so much. This was lovely. Tomorrow is Ladies' Day. Right?
Yes. Who ran the
The guys
world?
always look forward to having the day off, but it's okay. We
No,
understand.
you need more days. No, women power. Empowerment.
Yeah, try Fridays, try
Empowerment, so you can
Fridays.
have days off. Have a lovely day.
We'll see you
Be sure to
tomorrow.
join
See you
us
same
again
time tomorrow. Mwah.